can you respond to this? The Canadian Wheat Board has a so-called monopoly on selling prairie Canadian wheat and barley to international markets, and there is much controversy surrounding this issue. What would you do about it as our Member of Parliament? To Ross or Edward?
Maybe he doesn't know the system well enough. First of all, I think the government should absolutely stay out of the business of what farmers do. The Canadian Wheat Board has been granted jurisdiction to have their own elections and run it, and so that what the farmers want should, in other words, they should be making a decision as to what goes on. It's also really not inappropriate to call it a monopoly. What it really means is that the Wheat Board has the opportunity as a single desk to sell the grain on behalf of the farmers, and so that the large multinationals do not have an opportunity to start playing games with individuals and give either some individuals a special price and thereby break the entire market. It's basically the same as, for example, Medicare. We don't believe in two-tier Medicare. That's also the same over here. It's the same with regards to unions. You cannot have a union and then having individuals cutting private deals outside the thing. And yet here we have a government who is absolutely insisting to try and break up the Wheat Board so that the large multinationals have even more control over our system. And I would point out, even though Harper talked about accountability and all this kind of stuff, his government has now had the greatest number of cases against the government where the courts have ruled that what they were doing is illegal. In the case of the Canadian Wheat Board, they have meddled in the elections so that legitimate farmers could not vote. They have exercised a gag order so that the Canadian Wheat Board could not spend any money on bringing forward significant information. On a third point on this, and this is when Harper was already on the National Citizens Coalition, he fought very strongly against third-party advertising. With the Canadian Wheat Board elections now coming up, he has done the absolutely most undemocratic thing is he's allowing large corporations to participate in the election without limit, while farmer candidates are going to be limited.
Thanks, Ed. I wanted Ed to go first because he's a farmer. He actually understands what it's like to try to harvest and sell his goods in this country. And right now, the Conservative Party is attacking the Canadian Wheat Board on barley because they know once they've gotten the barley, it'll be the wheat that goes next.